All right, let's get into it. Today, we're tackling one of the most ambitious and honestly mind-boggling engineering ideas on the planet, river linking. The big question is this a visionary solution for our water problems, or is it an attempt to replumb an entire nation with consequences that could be, well, disastrous? I want you to picture something. In one part of a country, you've got catastrophic floods just washing away everything: homes, farms, lives. But at the very same time, maybe just a few hundred miles away, another region is completely bone dry, just crippled by a brutal drought. It sounds like a movie plot, right? But for millions of people, this is reality, year after year. And that right there, that's the Great Water Paradox. You see, the problem isn't necessarily a total lack of water. It's that it's all in the wrong places at the wrong times. And this challenge has forced engineers and leaders to ask a really, really big question. What if you could somehow capture all that destructive floodwater and just move it? Physically transport it to the places that are desperate for every last drop? It's a simple question, but it's the seed of a truly monumental idea. The solution that people have come up with is basically a giant water highway. Seriously, think of it like a national grid, but instead of moving electricity or data, it's designed to move water across vast, vast distances. Okay, so the official term for this whole concept is river linking, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a strategy to literally connect different rivers together, creating this huge network of canals and reservoirs to balance out the country's water supply. The goal is simple: get the water where it's needed, when it's needed. And the mission behind all of this? Wow. It is incredibly ambitious. I mean, it's not just about stopping floods and droughts, though that's a huge part of it. We're also talking about boosting agriculture with way better irrigation, securing clean drinking water for growing cities, creating new inland fishing industries, and even generating massive amounts of clean energy through hydropower. It's pitched as this incredible, multi-pronged solution to some of a nation's biggest headaches. And this isn't just some theory sketched on a napkin. In India, it is a very real, government-backed plan. It's called the Interlinking of Rivers program, or the ILR, and it's one of the largest and most complex infrastructure proposals in human history. So how on earth do you actually build something this massive? I mean, the engineering involved is just on a colossal scale. Well, it really breaks down into three core pieces, as you can see here. First, you need giant dams and reservoirs to capture and store all that surplus water. Second, you need a massive network of link canals. Think of them as man-made rivers that connect the different river basins. And third, and this part's really tricky, you need incredibly powerful pumping stations to literally defy gravity and lift water over hills and other obstacles. But here's the thing. This isn't just about brute force and pouring tons of concrete. Planning a system like this requires incredible, pinpoint accuracy, and that's where modern technology becomes absolutely crucial. Two key technologies really make this level of planning possible. On one side, you have remote sensing. This is basically using satellites to map everything from space: the rivers, the flood patterns, even sensitive animal habitats. Then you have geographic information systems, or GIS. Think of GIS as the super smart brain of the whole operation. It takes all that data from the satellites, crunches the numbers, models how the water will flow, and helps engineers find the absolute best spots for dams and the most efficient routes for canals. Now, as you can probably imagine, a project that proposes to reroute the very arteries of a subcontinent is, well, it's going to be controversial. And this brings us right to the great debate. Is river linking a promise of prosperity, or is it a path to peril? The promise is immense. I mean, the supporters of these projects, they paint a picture of a future that's free from that terrible cycle of flood and drought. A future with total food security because of better irrigation, clean drinking water for everyone, and tons of renewable energy. It really is a vision of total water security. But the peril is just as significant. First, the cost is just astronomical. Second, diverting rivers can be a political minefield, right? It can spark these huge disputes between states over who actually owns the water. And then there are the environmental consequences, which are profound. We're talking about altering natural river flows, displacing entire communities from their homes, and threatening the biodiversity of whole ecosystems. And this slide really illustrates the different priorities within the larger plan. So in India, the program has two main parts. You have the peninsular links, like the Ken Betwal project you see here. That's mainly focused on moving water to irrigate those really dry, drought-prone areas. But then you have the Himalayan links. These involve the massive glacier-fed rivers like the Ganga and Brahmaputra, and they're more about controlling massive floods and storing huge amounts of monsoon water, often for hydropower. So, when you step back and look at the whole picture, it becomes really clear that this is not a simple yes or no question. It's a massive national balancing act. This quote really gets to the heart of it. The potential of river linking is undeniable, but it comes with a gigantic warning label. Its success totally depends on being able to do it with extreme care for both the environment and the people it affects. So the crucial point, the real takeaway here, is that this is a massive trade-off. It forces a direct confrontation between the goals of national development on one side and the absolute necessity of ecological preservation on the other. You can't have one without deeply, deeply impacting the other. And all of this leaves us with one final fundamental question. We have the technology now to reroute rivers, to reshape landscapes on a scale our ancestors could never have even imagined. The question is, can we really re-engineer nature to serve humanity without completely breaking the very systems that sustain us all?